Thursday, March 28th, and welcome back to the Plus. It's the Damon Bruce Show. It's great to see you. Like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping on by. And man, how things have changed in my life. Here we are. It's opening day, and the thumbnail is about Draymond Green. It's not even the NFL wiping opening day off the front page, at least here on the theoretical front page that is a thumbnail on YouTube. But it's not even football. There isn't a lot of football news in today's show. At my own risk, I'm going to go with a kind of a football-free show today. Bear with me. We got some things to talk about here in the Bay, and Draymond being a headache is once again kind of right in the middle of any and all worrying or anxiety or success that they're trying to chase down, and frickin' Draymond, man. First of all, we're brought to you by our good friend at Ike's. It is really good to have him as a part of this show. It's really great to have all of you as a part of this show, and indeed you are part of this show. What an awesome community we got. Red Jet, welcoming everyone by name. She's like our Walmart greeter. Thank you very much. Let's hop right into it. And by the way, cheers, mazel to all of you. And I'm just going to tell you, I knew it was up. I knew it was up because I've been up a little bit early this morning. Coffee went on a little early. I thought there'd be baseball earlier in the day, and I'm disappointed like there isn't a game on right now anyways, or maybe one just started and I missed it because I'm down here. But we will have an opening day. We will have a Sweet 16. We will have the Warriors in Charlotte tomorrow night. But before we talk or focus on any of that, freaking Draymond. You know, you could see with the near clothesline that he gave a Heat player in Miami that there was a little just suggestion of reckless, careless Draymond maybe going along with the Warriors on this 4-game road trip. Draymond doesn't last 5 minutes before getting ejected for arguing in a game that, like, look, the Warriors are all out of mulligans, man. You got to win all of these bad boys from here on out. And the one thing that you saw right away was that Steph Curry, I don't want to say like reached a breaking point, but I've never seen Curry as exasperated because of Draymond Green as he was in that game in Orlando. Steph Curry tried to be the guy who jumped in between Draymond and the ref, and come on, man, we have just started this game tonight. We are, haven't even reached the 8-minute mark of the first quarter here, Draymond. You shouldn't be that fired up about anything yet. Really? I mean, honestly, you should not be at full ejectable, lather, frothing, rabid dog anger 4 minutes into a basketball game. But there's Draymond Green getting ejected because he can't stop talking. I mean, that's it. He didn't even really have a position to defend. It was one of those like, okay, man, just stop talking. That's all you got to do. That's all. That's it. Just stop talking. And Draymond can't, man. He can't. And look, he is a very talented basketball player. He's also absolutely selfish. He, instead of rising to the pressure in any moment, he is just as likely to be swallowed by it. This was his 4th ejection of the NBA season, the first since being ordered to NBA therapy after his 5-game suspension, and then 16-game please get yourself together absence that the NBA and the Warriors insisted he have. And look, there are 2 more years of Draymond under a guaranteed deal. The 3rd year after that is a player option, which we all know Draymond will be very interested in picking up. So basically, this is Draymond being like this through the 2026-27 season. And like Draymond has been so thoroughly rewarded for his totally unnecessary behavior where he's starring in like T-Mobile commercials now during the NCAA tournament. And he's like, sometimes I make bad choices, but then I make good choices, and then bad choices, and then good choices. Like, this is his brand. He is actually proud of this. And he is trying to make money off of this. And, immediately he records a podcast and he says, and I quote, "It just can't happen. I said what I said. I deserve to be kicked out at that point. If I'm all the way honest with y'all kind of trying to turn my body and angle it to go to the bench, but I said it a little too soon before angling my body. But yeah, that just can't happen. We've heard it all before. I mean, the just can't happen talking point has been so thoroughly examined by Draymond and everyone who's been looking at this guy's career, and it continues to happen. So the concept of that can't happen with like 11 games left in an NBA season, even though Draymond knows it, he refuses to understand it or implement that knowledge, or it's just so frustrating. And in spite of Draymond, the Warriors actually get a win. One of their better wins of the entire year, considering they were down Draymond Green 4 minutes into that game. If Andrew Wiggins brought that level of play to the court on a near nightly basis, the Warriors would be a 5 seed. The Warriors would be a 4 seed. If Andrew Wiggins played like that all the time, we wouldn't do video and segment after segment where I'm bagging on Andrew Wiggins. Like, this is what's frustrating about this guy. That's what's so frustrating. Because you see it. There it is. Now, will we see it again from Andrew Wiggins playing like this? Or did it take, there's only 10 games left in the season to bring Andrew Wiggins to this I'm going to try now moment of the career of the season? Like, keep going, because you need more of that from Andrew Wiggins than you need more of whatever the hell Draymond is up to in the last few games. He's so talented. He's so frustrating. He's so selfish. He's so smart. He's so stupid. Draymond Green is like one of the biggest yin-yang players in the history of basketball. He'll put an awful lot on the table, and he will swipe it off like he is a busboy all at the same time. Again, the Warriors were able to win last night. The 19th career regular season ejection for Draymond Green. That is the second most in NBA history over the last 25 years. Only Saint Rashid has more career ejections than Draymond Green. Rasheed Wallace was 25. Draymond is at 19. He will absolutely, own that record over the last 25 years by the time his contract is up with the Golden State Warriors. You can feel like he really wants it. Like, you really can. Draymond Green, I think, actually covets the all-time ejected NBA. And look, here's the thing. I'm not asking everyone to be a Boy Scout. I'm not asking everybody to be a great guy at all times. Sometimes you reach a boiling point. That boiling point for Draymond is before any other pot starts to simmer, Draymond is on full boil. And it's just, it's a mental weakness that proves that Draymond isn't as smart as he thinks he is, isn't as clever as he thinks he is, isn't as tough as he thinks he is, because he gives in to his own worst habits as often as any NBA player gives into his worst habits since Rasheed Wallace. I mean, you could see like the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other, and the devil just winning every single argument. Draymond, behave worse. Say more. Don't stop talking. Ignore Steph Curry begging you to stop talking. Ignore the man who has literally secured your career as an incredible basketball player. Take your brother and ignore him so you can have your temper tantrum, you child. I've never seen Steph Curry more exacerbated than he was. Like, if exacerbated could have a physical meme or a physical video attached to it in a dictionary, it would be Steph Curry just shaking his head and putting his head in his jersey and just rubbing his eyes. And people are saying like Curry was crying. I don't know if Curry was crying. Curry was in full, this fucking guy. You could just see it. He's exasperated. And Curry understands how delicate of a thread that this entire year is dangling from. And you're going to pull this bullshit, Draymond? Come on, man. Come on. You could see how frustrated Steph Curry was. And there's, Draymond waiting for him right at the locker room, big embrace. I hope Steph Curry whispered in his ear, "You are an asshole. I love you, buddy, but you're an asshole." We all have friends like that, right? We all know people like that. We've worked with people like that. Hell, I've probably been that person for some people. Like, I love you, Damon, but you're kind of an asshole. I mean, that's how I get shit done. But it's not to the point where I'm ruining it for the entire team. Draymond Green luckily didn't ruin it for the entire team. Luckily, the Golden State Warriors found themselves in the win column in spite of Draymond Green's actions. But goddamn, man. Like, how many more suspensions and therapy sessions and life lessons do you need to be told? It's like I'm talking to my 4-year-old, Jack. Jack, do you understand not to do that? Yes, I do, Dad. 5 minutes later, he's doing it. He's 4. So, it's okay. He's 4. Draymond Green, not 4 years old. But he acts like it. And he's committed to acting like it. Like he refuses to do anything other than go temper tantrum Draymond Green. So, he embarrasses himself. He embarrasses the Warriors. He doesn't help Steph Curry win games. And that all needs to end because, by the way, this team is in Charlotte on Friday night. The Hornets stink. Ball is done for the entire year. He's being shelved with his wonky knee. And I'm just telling you that the Houston Rockets have the NBA's longest winning streak going on right now. They're on a 10-game tear, and they are now 1 game behind the Golden State Warriors for the 10 seed. So it would not take anything less than a couple more decent nights of basketball out of the Rockets and a couple more letdown nights of basketball from the Golden State Warriors to find themselves out of the postseason, out of any play-in nonsense. Just, you are out. Welcome to the lottery. And if the Warriors really have to go through that, it's going to be so embarrassing. We know they're not about to be contenders, but they're not supposed to be a team worrying about the lottery either. So, from here on out, it's got to be Steph Curry, Jonathan Kuminga, who, again, wasn't playing last night. Another reason why Draymond's got to be in there. And, of all the nights to not get ejected, that was as big of a night to not get ejected for Draymond there was on the schedule. And yet he still does it. It's going to be Steph Curry's brilliance and Andrew Wiggins actually letting his own nuts drop and playing good basketball, and Trace Jackson Davis getting better and healthier again, and Klay Thompson's hitting shots, and Podziemski's giving you good minutes, and Chris Paul's not getting plucked at midcourt. Man, Chris Paul's slowing down. It doesn't look good. It just doesn't look right with only 10 games remaining in this season for the Warriors. How's the Club Plus doing? Everyone good in the chat? Everyone feeling good today? I hope so. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Again, today is opening day. It's opening day for Major League Baseball. The game is back. The innocence is long gone. So what do we got? Here in the Bay Area, what we got are 2 baseball teams that, I think any way you want to measure it, are just decidedly less likable than they used to be. And this isn't about Major League Baseball losing its grasp on our sports imagination. I'm just talking about the 2 clubs themselves. I think the Giants have, through several moves, whittled away their likability while the Oakland A's have clearly taken out an axe and just chopped down a forest of likability by design, by strategy, that has been the owner's plan to make sure that there are fewer people interested in his team than humanly possible when it comes to Major League Baseball. And mission accomplished, John Fisher. By the way, I would rather see the last dive bar and the Oakland 68's parking lot protest on my TV tonight than any one particular inning of A's and Guardians. I hope that the cameras would spend more time searching that parking lot for the soul of baseball, because it cannot be found inside the Coliseum. It's sitting outside the Coliseum. And even though I can't be there with you tonight, fans, I am there with you in spirit. I love this T-shirt. It's the Fisher Out Rally Possum, sell the team that the good folks at Last Dive Bar sent me. I hope your protest goes great tonight. I hope you have 20, 30,000 people. I know I did a video where I said I hope they have 8,000 people in the parking lot. I was just going off the pretending there were 7,000 people between that A's and Giants spring training game that the Coliseum hosted the other night, where they claimed there were 7,000 people in there. There weren't even 750 people in there, I don't think. So opening day is here. Each team has made a sequence of decisions that have rendered them less likable. Again, the Giants are whittlers. The A's are chopping it all down with intent to make sure the forest never grows again. The Giants have a chance, though, to take their unlikable sort of feeling that's around them and improve that feeling, because we don't know what this season's about to be for them. The A's are, again, they're built to be dead on arrival. They're built to not generate interest or excitement. I don't think you can accuse the San Francisco Giants of that. The Giants are built to be interesting. Whether they are built to be satisfying, we do not know, because this could really go either way. But they have made enough moves where, as long as you don't expect too much, they have set themselves up for what I think could be a decent baseball season. And there are a few big questions that we're going to be looking to see if the San Francisco Giants can answer here. Can Logan Webb and Blake Snell, between just the two of them, win 30 or more games? Just you two guys. Can we look at your end of season stats, look at your win-loss record, knowing that it takes a lot more than just a pitcher's effort to win a game, but they get scored wins and losses? Logan Webb and Blake Snell have to represent win days for the San Francisco Giants. The two of them, I believe, need to be north of 12, 13, 14 wins. And if the two of them are over 30 combined regular season wins, I think that that's part and parcel of the Giants being able to do anything to put themselves in any sort of a postseason conversation. You know, Kyle Harrison, does he show up with more than just promise to be a good pitcher, or is he ready to actually contribute? Kyle Harrison got knocked around in his first go-around in Major League Baseball last year. What does he look like this year? Now that he has tasted the rainbow, is he ready for it? I hope he is. He's got a ridiculous amount of arm talent. Speaking of arm talent, what does Jordan Hicks do in a starting role? What will Robbie Ray do when he is healthy enough to join this team's pitching conversation somewhere around the All-Star game? It's pretty interesting how this whole thing sets up, but you know, nothing about the Giants can work without Snell and Logan Webb really being like a legit 1-2 combo punch every single week at the top of the top of the rotation. Will Jorge Soler hit 30, 35 home runs? Like, that's got to happen. This guy just can't represent empty at-bats and strikeouts. He has to make up for what we know will be a large handful of empty at-bats and strikeouts. With that power, he's got to deliver the Giants a 35 home run season. The thing that I'm worried about the least is Camilo Duvall. Camilo Duvall, does this guy just keep on slamming doors like the all-star closer he is? You don't want to see that guy regress in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think he will. He is special. And will Jung-Hoo Lee be the lightning rod at the top of this lineup for the Giants? I saw Grant Brisbee in The Athletic make a little prediction that Jung-Hoo Lee is going to hit 314. It'll be good for second in the National League behind Luis Arez. The Giants are going to start selling windmill hats to take advantage of his nickname, and I did not know this, and this is why I share this with you. Jung-Hoo Lee's nickname is Grandson of the Wind. Grandson of the Wind. I'm in. I'm in on that nickname. I got to be honest with you. It probably sounds a lot better in Korean, just however it's said in Korean. But Grandson of the Wind. Okay. All right, dude, you better steal some bases. You better be really good at that top of the order, and you better play a stout center field. And if you do all three of those things, again, the Giants might be able to flirt with a 90-win season. Patrick Bailey taking a big step from behind the plate, really showing us that the job that he did last year is an awful lot to build upon. That is the most interesting Giants rookie we've seen in a really long time as a position player. And what I also thought was kind of interesting, just looking at the 40-man or the opening day roster for the Giants, is that Joey Bart made the opening day roster and Marco Luciano did not. So there's kind of an interesting stock up, stock down on, guys who were supposed to be the centerpiece of this entire farm system. Joey Bart and Marco Luciano are, that's supposed to be your starting catcher. That's supposed to be your number one position prospect. And both those guys have been disappointments. Which one will either one of those guys actually contribute to winning and losing this year? So here we go. It's opening day, baby. And with it being opening day, we also got like the single greatest flip back in the history of flip backs. It is our first weekend dropping into the Sweet 16. The NCAA tournament gets going once again. Today, an awful lot of chalk is talking. The lowest seed in play is number 6 Clemson, which is going to get underway against Arizona at 4:09 West Coast time. We got San Diego State and UConn being a 1 seed. North Carolina's a 1 seed. They've got 4 seed Alabama later on this evening. Illinois, Iowa State in a 2-3 battle little bit later on. The lowest seed remaining in the men's tournament won't play until Friday. NC State is the last level of Cinderella we really got in this tournament. NC State being an 11 seed. They take on Marquette. We got Gonzaga, Purdue, Duke, Houston. That should be a really good basketball game. And Creighton and Tennessee is going to be our Friday night game as we go from the Sweet 16 down to the Elite 8 before we come back on Saturday and start our round of Elite 8 games. God bless the NCAA tournament. Freaking love me the NCAA tournament. Here we go. Again, chalk is fun. Cinderella's fun. Now it's time to see who's got a real championship in them this year. That starts tonight. I'm looking forward to it. A couple of other things, a few stories that I, haven't been able to squeeze into the show for whatever reason again today, even though it's there's so much going on and so much happening. We are never going to waste your time. We're never going to drag you through a whole bunch of anything because we said what we had to say about Draymond. We said what we've had to say about the coming opening day here. We said what we've had to say about what's going on all around the Giants lineup and what they're doing. And what we got to do now here is never waste your time because you got a lot of stuff to watch today, right? You got a lot of opening day baseball. You got a Sweet 16. Tomorrow, more baseball. I mean, it's great. Baseball's going to be with us like every day for the next 7 months. And as pissed off as we are at these guys, I still do love me some baseball. I really do. But there's a pitcher out there who no one can root for, And these are the couple of stories that we're going to have here to end today's show. I saw this in Bro Bible. Former Major League pitcher Chasen Bradford. And it didn't go very well for Chasen as a major leaguer. You know, he made the show, he got a cup of coffee, he broke in with the Mets in 2011. But his baseball career did not last long. And like all young men who pursued professional, a career in professional athlete as a professional athlete, they don't quite reach it. So now you got to go be whatever the other thing you're going to be in life is. And he said, I'm going to be a police officer. And he went to the police academy and he graduated. And then immediately the very next day got arrested for a DUI. Former Major League Baseball pitcher Chasen Bradford, who was drafted by the Mets in 2011, got arrested for a DUI by the very department that hired him just a day after graduating from the police academy. Now, DUIs obviously aren't funny, but this guy's story kind of is. Bradford, who is 34 years old, graduated from the Henderson Police Department Academy with 13 other graduates on March 21st. And on March 22nd, he was arrested for driving under the influence. You idiot. I mean, good God. How do you literally just learned how to be a police officer and you celebrate that by catching your own DUI following his arrest, much like following his major league debut. He was told, we've seen enough. Bradford was immediately fired and is no longer a member of the Henderson Police Department, as you can imagine. But that is some first-class level of stupidity that is, again, I'm almost impressed. I really am. I have no room or sympathy for any DUI in the age of Uber. Just don't. But that's special. That is special. Another little story about, that's kind of special. We all know how special Caitlin Clark has been to women's basketball. She is the number one draw in women's basketball. The minute she gets bounced from the women's NCAA tournament, their ratings are just going boo, boo. I mean, she casts a wider net than any program in women's basketball in terms of generating interest. The Big Three has seen that. We all know that Caitlin Clark is due to be the number one overall pick in the upcoming WNBA draft, where her salary in her first season will be $76,535. It's not a lot of money, right? The Big Three, Ice Cube's Big Three, has offered her 1 year, $5 million to join the Big Three. I hope Caitlin Clark takes it. I really do. I really do. Now, she would take that money, and I don't know if Caitlin Clark would be like all eyeballs on her in the Big Three, but she should take that payday because she'll never have a payday that even comes close to that in the WNBA. Go take the money, Caitlin Clark. Go take the money. I mean, college basketball is using her. She should use Ice-T in the Big Three to make $5 million, put off her WNBA career for a year, go play on the Big Three circuit with Ice Cube for 1 year, make $5 million, put it in the bank, then declare yourself eligible for the WNBA draft and become whatever the Lady Warriors WNBA team is going to be. We don't even have a name for them yet. But we are going to have Joe Lacob running a franchise. And, all I can tell you is that if you are a globally recognized world-class shooter, you could do an awful lot worse than being on a team run by Joe Lacob. Caitlin Clark, go make your $5 million. Tell the WNBA you can wait another year for my services. I'm going to go make some generational wealth over here and then jump into the WNBA. Just a little advice from Uncle Damon. She's got a chance to be the number one pick of what? The Indiana Fever? Well, I can tell you they love basketball in Indiana. But Caitlin, they're going to love you anywhere else. And as someone who has lived in Indiana and in San Francisco, ignore all those stories about any doom loops or anything like that. You'd much rather be in the Bay Area than in Indianapolis. Just trust me on that. Indianapolis is a very nice place. It ain't the Bay Area. So, Caitlin Clark, take the cash, wait a year, work for Joe Lacob. This is good advice. Trust Uncle Damon on this one. Our final story, which I love because it's scandal, it's anger, it's a whole bunch of people going, I accuse you of, and it's sports. Down in Los Angeles, golfers have filed a class action lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, calling out a failure to stop black market tee times. LA Times reports that in October, some golfers who are members of an Asian American golfing group shared evidence with the LA Department of Recreation and Parks officials of brokers selling tee times to public courses on the black market, according to the lawsuit. To date, however, nothing has been done to prevent the illegal tee time bookings at the LA City golf courses. The City Department of Recreation and Parks operates 12 golf courses in Los Angeles, varying in sizes, 7 18-hole golf courses. The other are par threes, I guess. And golf has surged in popularity since the pandemic. You know, it was the socially distanced sport that a lot of people were comfortable playing. And, once golf gets its teeth into you, it sinks in. So more people are playing golf than before. And golf surging in Los Angeles has left an awful lot of people who can't afford the exorbitant fees of the private clubs just backing up at these muni courses. In recent years, a network of brokers, primarily in the Korean community, has managed to consistently grab desirable morning and afternoon tee times at the most sought-after municipal parks like Rancho Park and Griffith Park. So you have a group of black market Korean golf operators securing tee times for what fees? I do not know. Do you have to be Korean to work in the Korean black market? I don't know any of the parameters that, other than what the story shared. But I wonder what the take is. I wonder what the take is. There somebody living in a Beverly Hills mansion because they're selling LA Muni course tee times on the black market? Like, is that a profitable business? Should I leave YouTube and start the same sort of scam up here in the Bay Area? Maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe instead of talking to you good folks every single morning at 11 o'clock, I should be trying to get a whole bunch of folks on the course down at Lake Merritt. Funny stuff, man. Funny stuff. Golf is serious, man. That tee time, a very, very big deal. It feels like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. The setup, the premise of any Curb Your Enthusiasm episode here late in the Curb Your Enthusiasm run. Anyways, I like that story. I like the Caitlin Clark story. I like the pitcher who joins the police academy only to be arrested by the graduates of the police academy the very next day. And I hope you liked hanging out here today. Thank you so much. There's a great amount of sports on today. Enjoy. Lots of baseball. Happy opening day. Happy New Year to you baseball fans. To you A's fans, frickin' love you. You've been handed nothing but the short end of the stick for the greater part of the last 20 years. And really all you have left now are cool T-shirts and a couple of fan groups like the Last Dive Bar and the Oakland 68s to represent you well, because that team isn't representing anything well these days. So God bless you. Giants fans, good luck. Cubs fans, good luck. All fans, good luck. It begins. Shohei Ohtani taking the over on everyone. He sees nothing but big ears. I got like a hair in my throat. Aha. Aha. All right. We're going to hop into a little Club Plus here on YouTube. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in today. This was a fun one. This was a football-free show. I didn't even know we were allowed to do football-free shows, but I believe we just did one. We'll be back to football on Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. Wake up with yours truly and Larry Krueger. And then, of course, we'll have a little sports phone. But I do have a doctor's appointment coming up Friday afternoon. So we will get to video calls, but I want you to be aggressive. I want you to come in early with video calls tomorrow when we take them, because I got things to do. I know you got things to do. So if you're listening, I'm going to say good luck with your to-do list. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Squeaky disco ball. That way you know it's mine. Nothing says that aging process is going on quite like squeaky balls. What do we got? We got a pissed off Michelle Haberman. Fucking Draymond. I kind of chuckled at him poking fun at himself and his shenanigans, but damn it, you didn't even last 2 months without getting thrown out again. That's lame. Exactly. It's just lame. Be a better teammate to Steph Curry, for goodness sakes. Rock Eastwood says Chapman hitting fourth is concerning, but it's opening day. I won't start the bitching yet. Again, let's let everybody in this lineup find their own level. But yes, you are right to be a little concerned about that. Again, I don't think the Giants are going to be an awful big load of offense. They're going to win this year with defense and pitching. Just like every other Giants team that's ever won anything won with that formula. That's how they need to win in the ballpark that they call home. Let's see. What else we got? Bamboo Soldier, just straight up. Draymond, you need to simmer down. Just simmer down. Dale wants to know, any kinky pigeon sex today? Look, the kink came from the owl, Falco, not the pigeons who, is that owl rape? I don't know. You're a pigeon. All of a sudden, you got an owl mounting you. How do you feel about that? You probably don't feel great. That was an interesting end of the show yesterday. Next to exacerbated in the dictionary, there is now that Steph Curry gif. I'm telling you, man, I have not seen him as just like, come on, man, on court. I don't think ever in his career. I've never seen Steph have that much level of just, come pouring out of him. Steph is very stoic. You get a little shimmy every now and then. That's the biggest amount of celebrating you really get out of the guy. And Michelle gets it too. Like, that's the part that pisses me off the most. Steph's face says it all. Left his brothers hanging out to dry. Not cool. Not cool. Stacy, good to see you, Stacy Leo. Frustrated AF. Why do you even want the Warriors in the playoffs? Because I like basketball. That's, go to the playoffs. You're a team that, supposedly can just flip a switch and turn it on. Well, do that now if that's who you are. But yeah, I'd rather take a playoff than not a playoff. Mike Baker says, Rich Eisen has a new interview with a woman who broke the big story about Ohtani. We'll have to check that out a little bit later. It's funny. Rich Eisen has one of those shows that gets referenced a lot, gets shared a lot. And I'm not saying that, that I have a bigger audience than Rich in any way, shape, or form. But I don't know anybody who listens routinely to the Rich Eisen show. I like Rich Eisen. I like his show. But never once, except for Mike Baker, has anyone really ever brought to me hey, I was listening to the Rich Eisen show and here's what I heard. Again, imagine if the Plus, just for a moment, had the power of the NFL Network and DirecTV and all the places that Rich's show goes or gets generated from. Imagine if we had that over here. Oh, my God. We'd be taking over the whole damn world. What else we got? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so very, very much. Mike says, hey, man, I hit the like button before I even join. I mean, you don't have to do that. Maybe it's a show that you don't like. Give the show a shot, and if you like it, hit the like button. You don't just have to be like automatic liking things. Let me earn it. Opening day. We all have hope. Well, besides Oakland and Colorado. Miami's totally dead on arrival. Waiting in line for the club to open. I'm ready to day drink for a little day baseball and March Madness. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco. This has got all the makings of a really nice weekend here, and I hope that the weather is great tonight for all the folks who are going to get to that Coliseum parking lot and then not go into the game. I hope you have awesome weather. I hope you have a great time. I really do. My man Carl, he'll be at the boycott tonight, saying, hope to see everybody at the Coliseum for the boycott. Gang, bring your rally possums. Get your boycott signs. Get your sell T-shirts. Again, I was going to go with the sell T-shirt, but then I remembered Fisher out, sell the team. Okay. Last Dive Bar making news. Yeah, dude, what the attention that A's fans are getting is more attention than the team has gotten in like the last 4 or 5 years. Good. They deserve it. And the others don't. Dame, how many of your former coworkers are going to be at the Springsteen show tonight? Niner Empire 101. Is he in the Bay? Is Springsteen at Chase Center tonight? All I can tell you is that there's a generation of sports writers who bow at the altar of Bruce Springsteen. I love Bruce. I'm from the East Coast. I love Bruce, but I'm just not paying those prices for Bruce. I saw him once at the old Meadowlands. It was awesome. And a lot of Bruce Springsteen. And I think I got into that show for like $18. Now, if you want to go see Bruce Springsteen, it's like $800. I'm just not doing that. Maybe I was born to save $800. But I don't know, who's going to be there. I'm guessing like Brian Murphy and Paul McCaffrey could be there. Shasky, I don't feel like he's a Bruce Springsteen guy. Bonte, not a Bruce Springsteen guy. Steinmetz might be there. Guru will not be there. Ray won't be there. Who else? I could see FP Santangelo maybe being interested in a Springsteen ticket. Kruger's not going. He would have said something about it. Maybe some newspaper writers are going to get there. I honestly, I don't. Springsteen is canon among East Coast sports writers, not quite on the West Coast. Nathaniel Richards says, Kotze has the goal to finish at 500. I like the optimism, but there's no way they're winning 81 games. Yeah, no, come on. Mark Kotze is showing up to a Major League Baseball season with a team that is not a Major League Baseball team for the most part. And the only thing that you are guaranteed is anybody who has a really good first half will be sold off for more parts that people don't identify with or root for. So it's like the A's. There's never any there to anything. So Mark Kotze, good luck with that. It's a noble endeavor. I don't think you're going to get anywhere close. What else we got? Damon, did you see that the first person the Giants are auditioning for the PA is announcer and a lifelong diehard Dodger fan? Well, so I actually know CJ Silas. I've been on her show a few times. She has been a longtime PA announcer for like St. Louis Obispo college baseball. And, you know, Vin Scully was a Giants fan when he was a boy. I don't care who she roots for, as long as, you know, she's not introducing Dodgers with more excitement than she might be introducing San Francisco Giants. I'm really not that worried about that one, but it just shows you how ham-handed this entire situation with Rennell was. Like, it didn't feel like there was a lot of consideration put into her getting ousted, or if there was, they didn't put any consideration into, like, well, what happens after you oust her? So it's the Giants whittling away at their own likability. Leslie says, grandson of the wind. Sounds like an airbender. Is that like an animated series? The Last Airbender? Is that a thing? I think that's a thing. Smiley Dan. Been working and lurking. Can't do as much chatting. But he wants you to know, everyone, he's safe. You're safe. Get safe. We're all safe. Including our friend Padraig O'Brien, who's over in Ireland. Hello, my lad. It's great to see you. I've never done a show where we're getting calls from Ireland. It's the power of YouTube, baby. His father was a mutter. His mother was a mutter. The Seinfeld episode must have been on the other day. Bradford is all over the news here in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's the Henderson cop you don't need to worry about. Fired immediately. Isn't that incredible? Like, here you are. You're on your second career, and you're going to boof it that bad? Unbelievable. What did I say? Ice-T owned the big three? I meant Ice Cube. I'm sorry. I never want to confuse my ices. I mean, Caitlin Clark, I know what you should do. Go get your $5 million cushy payday and then go play for whatever the Warriors open up in the WNBA. You get to be the Bay Area shooter that people turn their attention to as Steph Curry continues to wind on down. Again, we're on in Japan, baby. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Joji, great to see you. Love the A support for Damon. Where was this on 95.7 The Game? On 95.7 The Game, we had to get ratings. They were incapable of producing ratings. We're in the audience business. The A's were not. The Giants might be pissing people off, but they were still very much in the audience trying to win Major League Baseball games. The A's were not. So, you know, the reason why I'm talking about them over here more is because not every single, sentence that comes out of my mouth is being measured in the quarter-hour success that it used to be measured in radio ratings. I can do what I want over here. But I'm telling you, every single time I talk about the A's, I am asking to have fewer people. Like, what's hysterical is someone will accuse me like, oh, Damon's just talking A's for the clickbait. The A's are quite literally a functioning opposite of clickbait. They're don't clickbait. That's the problem. But I have an identity. I identify with those fans. I identify with those fans in a way that I never have before. I've never, even when I was on 95.7 The Game, fans weren't getting quite screwed over like this. But we saw what an absolute fraudulent bunch of douchebags, and you have now seen, I mean, again, my fraudulent douchebag alarm went off long before yours did, and now you are seeing why being in business with the A's is the equivalent of slitting your own business throat. So that's why, Tiger Tank. I understand that we've had a long and complicated relationship. But the truth is, if you do a segment on the Giants, more people will listen to it. And if you do a segment on the A's, chances are the vast majority of your audience is going to start looking for other radio stations. It's just the way it went. Kiko, I would love for Damon and Draymond to have an honest, open conversation. Not sure he'd be willing to come on, though. So, look, Draymond did sign up for a weekly radio appearance with me, like right after his rookie or sophomore year in the NBA. And we did like 4 or 5 hits together, and then he just pieced out. I think I was a little bit too much honest for him. I think that Draymond, I would love that opportunity to talk to Draymond about what he's good at and what he's bad at and all those things. I think it would be fascinating, but I also think Draymond wouldn't step anywhere into that conversation because you get exposed quickly as someone who is just masking a level of immaturity that a man in his mid-30s really shouldn't be possessing or proud of any longer. Joe Schmo, love the disco ball. Didn't realize that was the sound. That's it. Rockin' New Era is like saying, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Bonte, definitely not listening to any Springsteen. I mean, everybody listens to some Springsteen. Everybody should listen to 10th Avenue Freeze Out right now. That is an incredible song. It's got soul. It's got rhythm. It's got the big man playing a great saxophone solo. Bruce is the man, but he's just not the man for the generation. You know, when you replace all your like older grown-up hosts with the guys who used to be weekend board ops, you're bringing in a younger generation that might be interested in Bruce Springsteen. Oh no, Damon said boof. I did say boof in this show today. I've never said boof on this show before. I probably won't be saying it much more often, but there you go. Boof. Damon, I remember when you interviewed Steve Kerr in the bathtub. Those are good times. Give me some or no thank you. That was a fun segment. It's like the greatest bit of audio that has ever happened on 95.7 The Game, and there's no way that they got the balls to ever even replay that because I'm attached to it, and they want to just pretend that I was never there because every time they bring up my name, listeners are like, oh, you should have kept that guy. Anyway, I'd rather be here. I'm happy to be here. I need to be here at this point in my career. Let's be honest. I don't think I'm consumable on public airwaves anymore because I say words like boof here on YouTube. You're an incredible group. You're an awesome group of people to hang out with for at least an hour just about every day. Thank you so much for being a part of this, being a part of my life, allowing me into a part of your life. You are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Enjoy opening day. Enjoy the Sweet 16 as it gets underway tonight. Enjoy the parking lot protest. Enjoy the mother boofing of John Fisher everywhere you go. Screw that guy. He is the worst. You are the best, and that's why it breaks my heart to let you know that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here. Take care.